Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Zulhitjarin from English Education Department. Today I'm going to describe a book under the title Using Action Research to Improve Instruction, an interactive guide for teacher. The authors of this book are Henning John, Stone Jody, and Kelly James. So these books consist of 10 chapters. So in this moment, I would like to tell you one by one of these chapters. Start from chapter 1 about an introduction to action research. So, what is action research? Action research is the teaching or learning environment to gather information about how the particular school operates, how they teach, and how well the student learn. So action research aims at improvement in three areas. Firstly, the improvement of practice. Secondly, the improvement of the understanding of the practice by its practitioner. And thirdly, the improvement of the situation in which the practice takes place. So, in action research, in one cycle, there are four categories. What is that? Plan, collect data, analyze, and reflect. So what is plan? Plan is like a teaching. Planning is the first phase of the action research process. When planning a lesson, teachers establish learning goals, create an assessment plan, and design their instructional activities. When planning, when planning an action research study, teachers should decide on the goals and purpose of the study, decide on a research question to guide the study, select the research participant, and determine the method of data collection. Looking at plan, you are likely to find yourself sifting aimlessly through piles of data without any clear purpose. So without plan, maybe our purpose to do action research will abstract. So that's the significance of the plan in action research. So how about the second categories in action research, that is collect data. During the collecting phase, actions are taken to carry out your action research project. These actions include implementing new teaching strategies and collecting data on them. Data collection could include administering tests, observing students, and conducting survey and interviews. The third is analyze. During the analyze phase, teachers carefully examine and analyze their data. The analysis could include observation of student instruction, the analysis of student work, the analysis of survey interviews, the analysis of pre and post tests, and the analysis standardized test assessment tests. Okay, so the last one is reflect. The reflection phase consists of three steps process. The first step is interpreting and explaining your observation. When interpreting your data, it is useful for generate as many plausible explanations as possible. You will find having a variety of explanation is helpful in. And the second step of the reflection process, which is developing new teaching strategies. Most new teaching strategies come from one of the following four sources: your past experience, data from your study, techniques by other teachers, or the educational literature. The third step of the reflection process is to justify your new teaching strategies by supporting them with data, best practice, educational research, or educational theory. So, to sum up all of the introduction of about the action research is there are four benefits of action research for teachers include promoting student achievement, improving teaching strategies, enhancing professional development, and facilitating school improvement. So the systematic equation of research is in the action research plan, collect data, analyze, and reflect. So that's the chapter 1. Next to the chapter 2, planning and action research project. So in this chapter, cover to help readers to make plan action research project. The first step would be formulate a research question. The second step would be to increase your awareness of student behaviors through more systematic approach to observation. The third step would be to look for strategies that address the situation you have identified. The first step would be to search the educational literature to discover new strategies and to find evidence of their effectiveness. The fifth step would be to select suitable method. So that's the content of the chapter 2. And next the chapter 3 about observing students and their work. This chapter shows you how to make observation about student, their work, the job. Observation of student work can provide insight into the development of student thinking and serve as a vehicle for suggesting new strategies to enhance student thinking. Finally, an analysis of student thinking can provide insight into the content knowledge of students, the student ability to elaborate, and the equality of students' interaction. That's the content of uh, chapter 3 about observing students and their work. So next to the chapter 4, observing teacher. Before I continue, I still want to ask you, did you still with me? Can you follow me? I hope you can follow me. Okay, the next chapter is chapter 4 about observing teachers. This chapter shows you how to make observation of teachers' interaction with students. The simplest approach is to record your teaching through audio audio taping, maybe? Yeah, we need audio taping to observing teachers, or video taping, or journaling and to examine it. A second approach is to target specific teacher behaviors as they designed by checklists or predetermined behaviors. A third approach to making observation is to analyze the specific use of language by teacher. So, an observing teacher is different to observing students, but it will different context how to observing student and how to observing teachers. So, but even though they are different, but almost have same characteristics, but the characteristics of stuff is different. So that's why we should have different action for student between teacher. So the next chapter is chapter 5, using survey in exam research. This chapter shows us how to conduct a survey. We must create a research question and select the research participant. When we construct our survey, we must decide on the type of mark, questions, and responses. Using a scale response enables the researcher to use descriptive statistics such as the mean, median, mode, and percentage to summarize the data. Each different perspective adds to the number of observations that can be made from the data. Increased observation can lead to increased insight and greater potential for developing new teaching strategies. So, next chapters is about using interview and exam research. The content of these chapters is we will get discussed about the essential steps in designing and conducting an interview. So before conducting an interview, we must carefully compose a set of questions. It is usually better to use a semi-structured approach to asking questions. In the semi-structured approach, the interview begins with more structured or open-ended questions and gradually moves to more structured or leading questions. Before semi-structures, there are another type of interview strategies like unstructured interviews and structured interviews. So I just mentioned because it's really highlighted in my memory. So next, that's the content about chapter 6. So move to the next chapter is chapter 7, standardized test analysis. In this chapter, we also learn for approach to analyzing standardized test achievement data. They are summarized as comparing to the norm. The purpose of comparing individuals to the norm is to analyze the strength and weakness of individual student or group of students. Beside that, the purpose of standardized is to describe this aggregating data. The purpose of this aggregating data is to determine the proportion of high and low performing students within either the total population of a particular group of students as indicated by standardized achievement tests. Besides that, it's also used to trend analysis. A trend analysis shows whether standardized achievement scores have improved over time for the purpose of determining whether an instructional intervention has positively influence student achievement. And the last thing about the standardized test analysis is correlation analysis. The purpose of correlation analysis is to examine the relationship of standardized achievement scores to other school measures such as grades, attendance, or discipline intervention. So, the next chapter is chapter 8, pre and post test. So, I just want to make a brief summary about this chapter because I think it's enough to cover all of the content. So this chapter showed us about how to evaluate instructional strategies by comparing pre-test, post-test, and baseline data on the whole class, subgroup, and individual level. So teaching strategies can be evaluated by trying one new strategies by pre and post testing immediately before and after using the strategy and by using a comparison group. The next chapter about collaborating and action research, that means chapter 9. Okay, these chapters provide information about effective collaboration and action research can be enhanced through the creation of a teacher studies group. The format described in this chapter is based on the four-step cycle of action research emphasized throughout the book: plan, collecting data, analyze, and reflect. So the conversation should begin with the plan for conducting the exit research project, as I mentioned before. So this is the content of the collaborating on action research. So we should have partner to measure our action research because we need another perspective of our teaching strategies. So that's why we need to collaborate with another educators about in action research. So the next chapter is next chapter 10, and this is the last chapters of this book about reading and writing action research. So after reading many action research reports, the thinking process associated with reading and writing then gradually became habitual to researcher. Eventually, it becomes second nature to conceptualize the study in its simplest terms. So what was the purpose of the study? How was the data collected and analyzed? What did the researchers find when they collect the data? What do the findings mean? So we need to read another research to make comprehensive understanding in our mind about the action research itself. So these fundamental questions are organized into a series of highly structured settings of writing. So if we want to type about action research, so we must focus about the important thing about the action research. So we must have reading a lot of book about the action research to make a well organizing about the action research itself. So the advantage of this style is that it provides maximum clarity and can also serve as well accepted guide to think. So that is the content about this book. I hope if you are doing a research, it's very better for you to read this book because this book provide a lot of information regarding the action research. That's all about the books in presentation. If there's something mistake, I'm so sorry for you guys. And the last said, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.